Hi everyone, it's Natalie here, and it's early morning. I would conceivably come on camera, but I've been really sick this week with some kind of a bug that is not COVID and it's not strep, but my nose is completely red and flaking off, and so is my upper lip. So you get the picture, eh? It was kind of a nasty bug. And truth be told, I don't know if it's still audible in the way I sound, but I'm still kind of getting past it. So I thought I would just come on and talk about a couple of decks that I've been working with all together, like as pairs and or trios over the last few weeks. You know, part of the spring TTBR, because, I mean, why wouldn't I do that? I don't know. Why wouldn't I? It's also just intimidating to me, I think, at this point, to try thinking in terms of filming a big, like, here's my monthly wrap up, you know, that kind of thing is just too much. I got a lot going on, and it's more than usual, which I know sounds, for some of you who know, like, how much I can get on board at one time, put on my plate. That's going to be a lot. It's actually not willingly done. It's, it's just sick family members and things. So one of the decks I've really been treasuring is actually, unsurprisingly, I think, the Siddhartha Tarot. I cannot believe how much I love this deck. It is so beautiful. It is a great reader. It has given me some of the most extraordinary readings over the month, in the last couple of months that I've been working with it. And I would say I've been alternating decks, several decks. So I wouldn't say that I've necessarily been doing it daily. But I will say this, that there was a week there where I was in real crisis with my godmother in the hospital with pneumonia, and having to make a lot of really difficult decisions about about her care and about assessing where she is, and can she go back to her independent living apartment? Do we need to try nursing care? And then moving her to nursing care and having that be a complete disaster. And yeah, this was the deck I reached for, because the readings and the connection to, for me anyway, the connection to the Tibetan tradition just made sense. And it just feels, I don't know how to describe it, you guys. It just, when a deck, well, you know how it is. Of course you know how it is. It's just not this deck for most of you, I think. Most of you are going to feel that you have a deck or two in there that really is like comforting and profoundly helpful when you're dealing with difficulty and pain. And for me, that is this deck, 100%. Now, it isn't just this deck. It is this deck paired with two other decks. But I think I might be able to get all three of them in shot or in frame. Let me try getting this out of here for a second. We'll see if it works. We'll find out. It reads extremely well with the Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power. Whoa, there it went all over the place. Shakti Power deck. And this deck is one that I haven't usually used historically as a reading deck. I have used it mainly because the imagery is so brilliant, as an altar deck. So I have the pictures up at various points and various different ones on my altar. But I realized at a certain point, I really want to get another copy of it so I can actually work with it. And I went to order something, I don't remember. Oh, I know what it was. I went to order the, and I still haven't gotten these videos out. I went to order the Tapestry Tarot from US Games and thought, well, for shipping, I may as well get another copy of this one. I could have gotten, of course, many copies of many other decks that I don't have, but that means, for me, that's a lot for my nervous system. It's like, oh my God, there's more things I need to work with that I can't handle right now. And so I went with this one. And I had zero regrets. It has been one of the best experiences ever for me, because of my own practice. So yeah, it just speaks to me in a way that other decks, of course, can't, that they just can't, because it's using imagery from the tradition in which I practice. So it has great value and great meaning. And honestly, the review I first gave it that's still out there, still on my page, it's a little scathing in retrospect, I think. I don't think I intended it that way. I think I was just, at the time, a little disappointed in the deck, because I had hoped, I don't know what I'd hoped for, but whatever I thought I wanted, it was not quite living up to, I think guidebook-wise, it was not kind of giving me what I was thinking I needed. Of course, now that I've been, that was, I guess, in 2019, and I've been practicing an additional, I was still very, very green. I think we could still say that I'm very green in the Tibetan traditions, 5 years into them. But I will say that, having practiced them very, very deeply over the last few years, 5 years or whatever, these go in, and their meanings go in a way that previously they could not have. And that has been extremely meaningful. So anyway, so there we go. So this one has paired really, really well with the Siddhartha Tarot. I'm sure it would pair well with the Buddha Tarot. It's just that I've been working with the Siddhartha Tarot in order to get to know it better. Getting to know you, all of that. So, and then the third one, I think you saw earlier here, it's unsurprisingly, it is the Tantric Dakini Tarot. Oh, that's right. I've got it organized right now. You'll be glad to know. In terms of cards that I've received or gotten in readings before, ones that are stalkers and ones that are that I've never had in the whole time I've had the deck and been working with it, which is about a year. So maybe it's a good time to talk about this one as well. Here are some stalker cards. Can I get all of them in? There's 4. Nope, I probably can get in 3 at a time. Isn't that interesting? There are other colors in the color palette. Excuse me. There are other colors in the color palette for this deck, but these seem to be the ones, along with this one, same color palette, that keep just passing through. And interestingly, I should probably put them in this order, because I just now see that, all right, there we are. They're all swords or air cards. I think, I'm pretty sure 29 is an air card. Let me just double check. I should know that by now, as many times as I've drawn it. Let's see. Yeah, it is. It is air. They're all air. And of course, then also the last laugh, the future. Which, I mean, for those of you who comment a lot that you like my laugh, this will, I guess, make a lot of sense to you. But apparently, a lot of times what I need to understand for the day, going into a day, I guess especially the last 6 months, have been extremely difficult on so many different levels, for so many different reasons that I will not bore you with, just to say that it's been very hard. But this has been a great remedy. You know, if you can laugh really hard and out loud, a lot of times it just disarms people or disarms the situation. It calms your nervous system. So it's actually been a great learning curve for me, you know, to remember self-preservation in moments when, I guess as an INFJ, like, that can be very hard. I don't know. I've tried for years to say, like, maybe I'm not really an INFJ. Maybe I'm really an INFP. or an ISFJ or something that's not this. And no, it seems to be the case. And so one of the traps, if you're an INFJ or you know one of the traps is people pleasing and having a hard time seeing your own situation because everyone else's feels so loud. Yep. So it's fascinating. Yeah. So many things I could go into right now, but I'm just going to leave it there. There's correlations that I'm noticing that are popping into my mind about my astrological chart and so forth. There's just a lot. There's a lot. Pluto and Libra. Pluto and Libra in the 7th house. Opposite, an ascendant that's at 29 degrees. Ding, ding, ding. And it's 29 degrees in Pisces, right? So, yeah, that blend of self-preservation and being at that 29th degree of Pisces as my ascendant, which actually means my whole first house is actually Aries. How about that? Isn't that fascinating? Yeah, I still am struggling to understand what that means. Of course, because it's mine. If it were someone else's, I'd be like, oh, well, that means this. But, it's when it's yourself, it's hard to see. It's hard to see. Like all of these, actually, as I'm looking at it, even though they're air, there's something in here for me in terms of just understanding that whole concept. Yeah, anyway, it's funny to look at it now, seeing all of them together. But this one's ultimate Sagittarius right there, which is my sun sign. And yeah, when you can laugh, everything is better. Everything's better. The other thing I learned with this one, did I say this? It's a Tantric Dakini Oracle, which I seem to write down as Secret Dakini Oracle, which is its old name, and I never knew it at that time. But anyhow, here are a few that I have never. Oh no, those aren't the ones. Was it these? It is these. Okay, here are a few that I've never had in the whole time I've had the deck. Never had the Heart Drop card. Isn't that something? With the stupa and the Tiffany heart looking thing. Not Tiffany, what am I saying? Swarovski looking heart. I've never had Recall Memory. Never had Mount Meru, Center of the Universe. Never had, let's see, where's some other ones? Did I already shuffle these and not realize? Have I ever had Eternal Life? Huh. I must have shuffled some of the rest of them. I think I must have. I've never had this one. I remember that was on there. I've never had Eternal Life. I've had that. I think I shuffled all of them except for the 4 that are the stalkers. Ironically, I think I've never had the amusement card. What else? I've never had Like a Bubble. This is the Never Have I Ever card, deck edition. Yeah, I don't know. I think I did. I remixed them. That's a shame. What a shame. What a shame. That was a fun game to play the other day. It was a fun game to play. I was waiting for something that I was doing online, and anyway, it was a great game. So anyway, that's where we are there. And I've been working more with some of the spreads. There's a spread in the book. Did I mark it? I did. I put my version of something in there. Anyway, there's a spread in the book. It is the Tree of Life chart spread. And that one was fascinating. That one's fascinating. It was so deep and so good and so on point the day that I did it. And it was a day where I really, really needed that information, I think. And I was just, again, nervous, waiting for information. I won't say killing time so much, but just needing to kind of anchor and ground myself. And this, I did not have anything to stitch on. I didn't have any crochet. I didn't even have markers to just doodle with. I just thought, okay, I'll shuffle cards. And you know what? Never have I ever done the Tree of Life spread from the Tantric Dakini Oracle. I think today's the day. And so I did it. It was great. And it was extremely comforting, and it made me extremely happy. So let's look at some of these next to one another, and let's not start with the ones that I have never had, that never have I ever had in my life. We'll put those at the back of the deck. So you can just kind of see what these all look like together. So what I would do is pull 3 cards for the day and read them. And I know the art styles don't match, but you know what? Let me tell you something. Johnny Depp as the 6 of Pentacles. Is that just me? I think he's supposed to be Padmasambhava, but I can't not see Johnny Depp. I don't know why. Not a fan. But here we go. Anyway, I can't not see that. It's the only thing I don't like about the deck. Anyhow, there's an energy that runs through all 3, and when they read all together, the readings are unbelievable. Really unbelievable. Funny, isn't that? I got the White Lady, Mother of Pearl, and then here's a White Lady for the moon. An Avalokitesvara. Or no, it's Vajrasattva. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's just crazy. You can kind of see, though, that they really do read very well together, I think. I mean, we have the sort of skull faces there. Let's see. Oh, here we go. There's a skull. Sometimes you end up with some fun skulls and things in this deck too. Oh, here you go. There's a skeleton. So yeah, I mean, the collage style, I think, of Tantric Dakini doesn't necessarily artistically work, but I will say, if you're looking for, I mean, I like energies. I do like visual, but I prefer when things feel a particular way, like they feel like they go together, and there's an energy of how they go together. And that seems to be how I work with decks a lot. I've noticed, does the energy feel right putting these 2 decks together? And the artwork for me is not always an instant yes. That's what I know. That's what I can tell you. So these 3 beautiful pairing, or tripling, whatever you want to say there. Deep readings. Really stunning, shattering readings. The kind that, they're not always deep on a daily basis, but if you're diving deep in your life and your practice outside of just reading your cards to say like, hey, what's going to happen today? You can access some pretty remarkable stuff, right? You can access some information that provides you with profound fruit and food for thought and digestion, and to pull together in terms of, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just giving you a word salad at this point, I think. But you kind of end up, you have a lot to chew on. You have a lot to chew on for a whole day. Another pairing that I have been working with during this kind of tumultuous time has been the Dream Dust Shamanic Tarot. Warning, if you have any linen boxes, the best way to clean them is with a lint roller, which apparently I have not done here. It's been in my bag a lot. Moving back and forth between my mom and dad's house and my own. I've mostly been at mom and dad's, really, so it's anyway, it's been a lot. But this deck has been marvelous. I'm really enjoying it a lot. I knew I would. I knew going in that probably this would be a deck that I would really love. I'm really glad that is the truth. That has in fact been the case. I have been enamored with it and just really loved, I think I love the way it smells. Oh my gosh, I gotta get a little whiff. Oh baby, you smell so good. Okay. Sorry to be inappropriate there. Being a little inappropriate. Let's keep it under wraps. Yeah, it's been a really beautiful, deep, it just, I don't know. I can work with abstraction and see meaning in it very easily. I also find, because I need the anchoring, right? I do need the anchoring of language. And so the language that she offers in very simple terms at the very bottom of the card, right? So for this one, 7 of Fire, challenge, competition, feeling unstable after achieving success, hold your ground, breathe, and persevere with courage. I actually did get that one day. And having that combined with some of the other simple meanings, I usually draw 3 cards, was tremendous. Tremendous. It makes for a very quick, simple, easy read, in truth. It really does. Yeah, I do love the sea cards with the just the shapes of the lights in the water, kind of. And I've loved the fire cards with anyway, they're all stunning. I really am glad I finally pulled the proverbial trigger, said the woman living in a gun culture, and went ahead and got it, because it's been really stunning and beautiful to work with. Again, very comforting and centering. Another one, and you'll be not surprised, given what I just released. Yeah, I guess yesterday maybe, or whenever I get this one out, I don't know. And it's the Death Doula Oracle. So I just took it out of the box there. I cannot believe, can I just say, how much depth I'm getting out of this, what looks like a tiny little guidebook. There is so much in here that is so good. I'm not sure about the rituals because I have my own, right? But supposing I didn't have any rituals to work with, suppose I was looking for rituals to work with, and suppose I was kind of confused about where to start or how to start, this would be a really gentle, loving, I think very safe introduction to that. That's how I feel. So, oh, you can hear it, can't you? Oh, it sounds so good. It just sounds so good. Aside from drooling over the beauty of the deck, right? Because as I don't know, I have a friend, a childhood friend, Katie, who doesn't go by Katie anymore because she's a professional these days. She goes by Kathleen, but she is a photographer and works in a very similar style. And I've spent years. She illustrated my dad's math book. Did the cover artwork for my dad's math book that he wrote, and it just looks so much like Kate. And it makes me, I think, love the deck more because it reminds me of my childhood friend. I'm also making another association with it. Here's the one we drew in the walkthrough. The other association I'm making with it is the reason I know that friend is, where we grew up together was at church. And it was the same church where my godmother, who has been in the hospital, was also the organist and pianist, accompanist for years, all the way through my childhood. So there's something magical for me in that association that I did not put together till just now. And it's interesting that I drew this or got this deck now because although I am a death doula, it's been out for some time. But it's only just now, right around the time it arrived, that my godmother is, she's in the hospital and been in the hospital now off and on since March, but this most recent time with the pneumonia has been terrible. And this deck is one that I grabbed. I reached for it right away. And I thought, that's so, isn't that ironic? Look at that. Death, you know, I'm aware that she is in a decline that's very steep, right? She will not be here in a few more months, I think. And so there is part of me that's very aware of that, having watched this process a lot. And I thought, how funny that I grabbed this deck, but I'm now realizing I didn't just grab it because it's a Death Doula Oracle. I actually was grabbing it because the comforting association of my friend Kate that I grew up with at the church and was reacquainted with as an adult. Neither one of us are still Christian. It was a very beautiful hippy-dippy church, and so we both kind of went the direction of yoga and Eastern religion as adults. But yeah, I think it's just the association with Kate and knowing that that's there, and I'm being held kind of by a childhood friend maybe as well. That aside, I do really love the art style. I can't talk articulately enough about it, I would say. But I am aware of what I'm looking at and of what is required, the amount of skill required to create it, and the challenges involved in trying to create art that looks like this. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite images in the whole deck. It is oddly similar in some respects to this one. You know, but even where there are similarities, as you continue to look, you know, and continue looking and looking and looking, you find so many more things in the image and realize it's not, you know, for example, it's not just a smudge or a flash of color. That is skin. That's human skin back there, right? Yeah, it's just really well done. You can get a lot, you know, very, again, similar, probably done with on the same reel as this one, right? Or same photo shoot, but it feels totally different. So yeah. Now what I did was I paired, of course, I'm just going to shuffle it so that it's not in the same order. Oops, since I ended up talking all the way through this one. And I'll do a more formal, like, hey, this is how it's worked for me working with this deck for a while, kinds of videos here at some point about this one. But you can see, for example, maybe not with that one. I'm like, yeah, like it looks just like this. Let's see. Let me, here, well, Okay, so you can see maybe, we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Yeah, you can see if you draw these two at the same time, you know, even though this one is obviously done with paint, and this one is photography, they're both abstract, and you can see that there are similarities. I did not do that on purpose. I actually drew this one on purpose, and then this one I just pulled off the top of the deck. Which was face down. So, you know, you can sometimes have these incredible moments, and I have had several over the last month, where, you know, you draw something together and there's like this kind of main color in the middle that's got a lot of red in it, right? And then this sort of vertical sort of whiteness around the two sides. I mean, that changes the meaning of the Emperor, right? So let's look at how that would be interpreted in both of these decks. So the Emperor 4, what does she write? Because I've just been working with what's on the card. Embracing life with confidence and passion, power, vision, reason, a rock in the wind, creating structure and a solid foundation. Okay, you're doing that from the ashes, right? It's sort of taking it from an abstract concept into an anchored physical reality, you know, energy reality. But let's see what he says about from the ashes. Theodore Saint writes, some things need to be burned. This card encourages you to let go of what does not suit you anymore. What have you outgrown? people, traits, routines, environments, substances, memories, what no longer resonates, what's keeping you from your highest self. Acknowledging what you have shed and burned in the past helps to bring realization to who you are now and what you have achieved. So, yeah, when we combine that meaning with the Emperor that I've already forgotten, embracing life with confidence and passion, power, vision, reason, a rock in the wind. Are there rocks here? I think there might be. If there are, I'm not seeing them just yet, just at the moment. But anyway, and creating a foundation. You know, when you think of it from that perspective, you know, it's how do I do that? Well, you know, let go of the structures that no longer serve you. Right? So, yeah. I feel like a lot of times with decks, you know, when I use a tarot with an oracle as a personal, you know, for a personal reading, not necessarily with clients, although sometimes, but mostly not. What I get is, you know, I'll draw 3 cards or 1 card even, just like this, and then 1 from the other deck. One says, here's what you need to do, and here's how you do it. And if I do a 2-card reading, that's usually how that works. But again, you know, you can see, and those are just the 2 on top, right? They just work well together, these 2 decks. And again, these 2 are on top. I've got this one and that one. Like this one's kind of like stalemate, and this one's saying, hey, you with your stalemate, get out of there, move, you got to do something else, come on, shine a light on your own wisdom. If you want to move to the other shore, find the right ritual. Get out of your comfort zone. You can see where you're headed right now. If you get out of your own way, it'll be easier. Victory is near if you can arise from the torpor and the laziness and the stillness. Looking for balance? Find it inside your own body. Balance your own body. Be in your own body. Want more money? Look into yourself. Look at your own shadow. What are the things that aren't things you're looking at right now that are stopping you from thinking abundance is reasonable, right? Want to embody your full power and your goddess energy and the fire of creativity? Sometimes things need to be burned down in order for them to regenerate. Sometimes things have been burned down and regeneration can only come about from those ashes. So hold on tight. Everything's going to be all right. Because if you change your perspective, you can create a new story. How do you create it? Through the mind, through power of your own mind, Wind Shaman. Adjust your vision. Look deeply into what's around you. And you'll find that you're full of inner strength and you shine like the sun. Like that? There's more. Because these pairings are wild. Move ahead, lest you calcify in place. But moving ahead, even when you are stuck, means that something alchemical has to take place in order for that to happen. Yeah. And eventually, if you want to find balance, it's achievable. I mean, is that not wild, you guys? I mean, it goes, I mean, there's even more. Look, 3 of C. 3 is the number of initiation. It's the number of bringing things together. What happens when you put things together and you do them 3 times? You have the ability to conjure up whatever it is that you're setting your mind to, right? On and on it goes, right? So, I mean, the star, true will, 3 of wind, thrombosis, something stuck, and it's red. Look at that. It's stuck, or it's been stuck, and it's red. Yeah. 8 of wind could bring about a disruption. Sea goddess, serenity. Oh my God, it just keeps going, you guys. It just keeps going. It's just so good. Look at this, wind star. Right, which is the ace. It's the ace of wind, or the ace of swords. Truth. Wow. It's just so good. Anyway, you can see, like, they go really well, right? They go really well as abstract decks. They're pretty amazing. So anyway, those are 2 that I wanted, or those are 2, I guess, chunks of decks, or pairings or triplings of decks that I just wanted to share with you, because they're just so amazing and awesome, and I've been having such a good time with them. Yeah, I'll try and, I'll put the, I won't try and remember, I will put the, names of all of these decks in the in the description box so that you can find them. And there's other videos. I think I've done unboxings and or walkthroughs of pretty much everything here at some point or other in time. I guess it never hurts to link those in case people want to watch them. I'm not really good at doing that kind of stuff, but maybe I need to get better at it. Yeah, these are my friends. These are my friends. Where'd my other friends go? There they are. Yeah, these have been amazing. I've started the series for the Siddhartha Tarot, so that'll be coming out soon. There we go. It'll be coming out soon. You'll get to see them all soon enough. I've just been kind of working with it a little at a time, filming a few here and a few there, and I really just need to film an intro and we'll be good to go. But yeah. All right, more to come later on, folks. Thanks again for being here. Bye.